Greetings and salutations, IRL Nation, and welcome back to the show. I'm telling you guys, I had to dig in the archive for this one, and I found some really good gold here. I'm so excited to give you guys some of my earlier work. As always, Nation, just know you are not alone out here. I see you going through it. I see you grinding. I see you getting through the struggle. You got somebody in your corner. Soon you'll have a nation in your corner. As always, guys, don't even give up. You got somebody here with you. You are not alone. Please keep in mind, though, it is my earlier work. I've been doing this for a couple years now. The audio was, shall we say, a beginner's level. Clearly, I've learned some skills and done some things to get myself to a different standard here. But this was one of my first episodes. And guess what, y'all? It's a Stranger Kings episode, too. So we're going to go ahead and dig into our archives. And I'm going to give you guys one of those original episodes for the Stranger Kings.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
Yeah.
Humans, we are Stranger Kings. I am Don King,
And I'm Kevin King.
and we are both brothers who left a high control.
And here we discuss our experience and the unique perspective it's given us online.
Love it. That's a good. Jump into our topic for today. It is fucking heavy. Just so everybody knows, going into it,
It's heavy for us.
right?
Yeah.
It is a giant trigger alert. And when I mean that, doing the topic that we did today, it was rough. Like, I'm telling you, man, having to go through those landmines that, obviously,
Yeah.
like, this is a scar.
Yeah.
I had to read this whole movie.
So this is our words episode. Witnesses have, even the word Jehovah's Witness is like,
Even the
it's
word,
like loaded,
yes.
you know?
Yes,
And
bro.
so today we've each made a list of words that come from the JW language dictionary, basically. We have not shared lists, so this is all going to be real time.
Yep.
I'm sure some of our words will overlap, but we're going to go probably back and forth. We'll have someone explain a word, and then we'll both have a trigger and react.
Talk about it.
And then we'll move on to the next word. So
Get through it together.
yeah, so hopefully this kind of just colors in like what ex-witnesses have to deal with.
Right. Because, again, like we talked about last episode, where you have to compensate and translate and for the language itself.
Yeah.
And these words, man, they might seem innocuous. They might seem
I know, they're just words,
Innocuous.
not dangerous.
Not dangerous. They might seem not dangerous to folks.
Yeah. But for
For us,
ex-witnesses,
I'm gonna tell you, man, this hurts.
Yeah.
Like,
so even the first one that I wanted to talk about, so you mentioned in the last episode that you say JW.
right.
Which to me makes total sense, right? And
Yes.
I have to say the whole Jehovah's Witness, because that is drilled into you when you are a JW, because they have this like pet peeve when people say Jehovah Witness.
right.
they-
if you don't put the
Yeah,
S's,
they get all pissed off when people say that.
even on the witnesses,
Uh-huh.
like, yep.
And so they make a real point of saying and enunciating Jehovah's Witnesses. So
They put that S on there.
it's loaded.
Right. Oh, and there, I'm telling you right now, there's some hard R's that you have to accept on some of these words. We'll get into that. And again, so Kevin did his list different than I did mine. I did mine ascending from like the worst to like the trigger worst. There is no good here. Okay?
No,
There is no good to
they're
worst.
all
This is all.
they're all sensitive.
They're all very sensitive.
Yeah, some are just worse.
Yes. So I'm gonna start from the bottom of my list and go up. And Kevin,
And I'm just gonna
talk
go
about his
random.
words.
I'm just gonna go through it random. Yeah.
Yes. And I'm sure there will be some words that overlap, and I'm gonna take that one go. But You want to go, Shadlow, who goes first? You want to go first?
Let's rock, paper, scissors, dude.
All right, here we go.
All right, he got it. He got it.
I don't know if I won.
Tell him what he's won.
Tell him what he's won. You
He
can
gets
talk
to
about
be
your
uncomfortable first.
word. Yes. Oh, man. Okay. Sure.
All right.
So my first word is number 20 on my list. And the word is...
I'm so scared right now. I just got really uncomfortable.
yes, y'all. It is real in here.
I'm sweating.
The first word is talk.
Oh, shit. I didn't have that one. Dude,
You didn't have that
no,
one,
you're
bro?
right. You're totally right.
Yeah, man. Okay, so talk. Yes, that is a word. That's a trigger word. Most people would just, talk.
Right.
Talk? Really?
Right.
We're doing that right now. We're talking right now. No, people.
I hate this. I already hate it.
I already hate it. We're not even close to that.
One word in.
Yes, the word talk. So in the JW, in that whole religion, you get to do what's called a talk. They force you to get up in front of everyone and give this talk about a biblical subject,
Yeah.
about
It's like
whatever it is.
It's
You
like a
get
mini
assignment.
sermon.
Yeah, it's a mini
like
sermon.
a short sermon, basically.
5 minutes. You've had to do research on this talk. You've had to deep dive into the scriptures. You've had to deep dive into other resources. Again, this is all religious resources, nothing outside of the religion.
Yep.
It's all there for you. So, you get to talk, like maybe about God or, whatever the subject is, but the word talk is what they use. They're going to give you a talk. And I'm going to tell you right now, bro, that's number 20.
Oh, God. Oh, okay.
Right? So just to put some flavor on it,
Damn.
that's the bottom of the list.
Wow. What's funny? So it's all loaded, right?
All loaded,
It's
yes.
all like super, has all extra meaning. And so a talk, it's one of those things especially as a guy, 'cause it's different for men and women when you're a witness. Like as a guy, you have all this, they're pretty sexist in that men are the only ones
Very
who get to
sexist
do
about
stuff,
that.
basically. And so as a young guy, even as a kid, this is expected of you to do these talks and to give these presentations, and it's kind of how you're measured. If you're not doing these, or if you do a bad job, you're kind of judged as like lesser.
Yes.
This is kind of how you prove your value.
100%. This is your prove to us and the world that you are good enough at
Right.
being a J-Dub.
Right. If you're not doing it, people look at you sideways. Yeah. One of the many reasons why
Well, yes.
they would do that.
Yes.
Damn. Okay.
Okay. So, Kevin, what's your
We're in
word?
this. I think I'll start with some soft ones.
Okay.
So this is a two-parter: magazine and brochure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, magazine is one of mine.
Yeah. Okay.
It's in the bottom list.
Okay.
Bottom half of the list.
Okay. Good.
But, so magazine, and didn't get brochure, but I got
Tracked. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that whole realm, bro.
Right.
Okay.
So I'll explain what these are. So when you hear magazine, a regular person probably thinks, I don't know, like
The doctor's office.
National Geographic
National
or
Geographic.
Life or
Sports Illustrated.
or whatever. They think of some commercial magazine. Well, for
Daily
witnesses, so for witnesses, they have a whole series of crap that they try to push on you and peddle.
Propaganda.
The stuff they're trying to give you at the door. It's one of these things. So a tract is a small little kind of pamphlet thing that folds up. It's pretty short. And then the next biggest thing is a magazine, and those come out every single month. And then the next biggest one is a longer magazine, which they call a brochure, and it's some kind of special whatever topic. So these are the things that you carry in your book bag. There's another one. That one just came out of nowhere.
That's an honorable mention.
I don't
right
like
there,
that.
your
I don't
book
like
bag.
that. Your book
Ooh,
bag,
honorable
right?
mention.
It's your little arsenal of crap to try and
It is
to
your
try and
utility
throw
belt.
at people when you go, out and try and preach.
Okay, propaganda utility belt right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we're freaking doing this.
Yeah. So, and again for the magazine, and for me, the magazine kind of goes into a little bit deeper of the words, which are on my list as well, which we'll get to. But you think a magazine, is just so safe.
It seems
seems
It seems so safe.
safe. But every time you say it, you get to experience this uncomfortableness.
So when I hear the word magazine, I think of how miserable I was going out and going door to door, which is another term we use for, and we also called it service. You know,
on my list.
Okay, we'll come back to that one. We'll come back to that one then. Yeah. So I think of that time. I think of all that time I was uncomfortable, knocking on people's doors and trying to peddle this crap.
Yes, 100%. Okay, that was a good little easy little softball right there. That was a nice,
Okay.
The next one for me, which again, this is bottom of the list here. Convention.
I had that one.
You had that one?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's a little softer.
So we have to have that one and the other one.
Which
an assembly.
Assembly, yes.
Right.
There's convention and assembly. Those are the same level. So a convention, which people have conventions all the time.
Yeah,
there's a convention center downtown.
Anime, or there's even like a bacon
Comic-Con.
convention. Yeah, Comic-Con.
Comic convention.
Right.
So convention for J-Dubs is the gathering of the flock, if you will, in the area that you live. And I got a couple of honorable mentions here. Districts and circuits all belong in the convention category because the district convention is by far one of the worst experiences in life. Where you get to travel to the Cow Palace or wherever.
If you're in Northern California.
California.
Yeah, you go to one of these
One
locations.
of these places and you just sit there for 8 hours.
3 days.
In the same room with thousands of people for 3 days and listen to people talk at you about God.
Yep.
It is exactly what it sounds like, people. Talk at you about God.
It is as boring as you think.
Yep.
It is as miserable as you think.
And you better not.
You better not. Yeah, you better be taking notes with like different color pens.
Yeah, it better be like.
You better be paying attention. Right? This is your life we're talking about. You want to die at Armageddon?
Exactly.
You better pay attention to this convention.
You better pay close attention.
Yeah.
So convention.
Right, and that was the biggest one. The district convention. So Jehovah's Witnesses are pretty organized, and everything's broken down into like groups. So like the smallest group is the congregation, then bigger is the circuit, and then even bigger is the district. And each one of those levels meets periodically throughout the year.
Yes.
These big, stupid Bible meeting things.
Yes. And, if you're lucky enough to be in a city where all of this is happening, you just get to have this flock of J-Dubs coming to the convention, which is also part of it.
It's a whole thing.
It's a whole extra thing. So, convention. What's your next word?
This is harder than I thought it would be.
Yeah, bro.
This is okay.
But hey, man, let's dig it up.
It's good though. It's good. It's good.
Very good.
All right. So my next one is meeting.
Oh yeah, bro, that's up there. So
I'll do this.
So meeting is number 7 on my list.
Oh shit!
So it's
sorry, bro.
It's a heavy hitter. So that's fine. That's fine. We're gonna talk about it.
So a meeting. So Jehovah's Witnesses do not call their churches.
Nope.
They call them kingdom halls.
Also trigger.
Also very triggering.
Also very triggering.
Is that on your list?
Yes.
I didn't have that one. So when you go to church, basically, to just explain it, they call it a meeting. A meeting. And so that just gets lobbed into every conversation of, I didn't see you at the meeting. Oh, what are we going to do before the meeting? It's this weird kind of culty,
yes, bro.
Feel to
Cult
it.
Language.
It's a very culty kind of word, which they would deny. But so, anytime somebody says, hey, we're going to have a meeting of whatever, it's a very simple word that people use. But for us, I don't know, dude, how many meetings do you think you've been to? In the 20 plus years you were a witness, how many meetings?
Well,
dude.
So let's just, I know the schedule.
It's
because,
3 a week.
I got to be older doing all the bullshit. So you had Tuesday nights, which that fluctuates from the times. You had Thursday nights
at somebody's house.
Which at somebody's house. You had Sunday, which was when, the big one. When, people get, big name people get to come give you a speech.
I would even include Saturday.
Plus 2 Saturdays.
Because you had a short one before you went out.
One.
Yeah.
And then Some people even had like mini Bible studies that weren't a part of those 4 lists. So Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, that's 4 days out of the week. How many years? 21 plus years in it. So
It's 4,000, bro.
yeah, 4,000 meetings.
4,000 meetings.
Jesus Christ! No wonder
That's
I was
what I mean.
brainwashed.
That's what I mean.
You go to 4,000 places, you hear the same thing over and over
Yeah.
4,000 times. You're obviously messed up.
Yeah. So that's why that word has
Yeah,
that has some
I've
weight.
been to 4,000
I've
plus
been
of
to
them.
4,000 plus of these stupid things.
Fuck.
Yeah, word. God, this is
Thanks for doing the math, bro.
This is hard.
I didn't really need to know that.
I know. You keep that shit to yourself.
Keep that kind of shit to yourself, bro.
All right, what's your next one?
So my next one, which I mean, I didn't. You talked about not doing like very biblical words,
Well, yeah.
but for me, this is like a lower tier. It's part of it for sure, and it's Bible or Scripture. Like, yep, I see the face. I see your face. I see your face. Yes, bro. So when I hear people talk about the Bible,
It's a good one. You should, yeah.
and or a Scripture, my brain immediately, catalogs the Bible, because as a J-Dub, you have to know the Bible inside and out. You have to have read it from cover to cover multiple times. This is what your life is.
We did that shit, by the way.
You did that shit.
Yeah.
So when I hear people talk about the Bible, my brain automatically gets triggered. Oh, what scripture are you talking about? Oh, I know what it says. Oh, this is the principle you want to talk about.
Right.
Ah!
Right.
No, I don't want it.
Witnesses are so, like, into specific words,
Very
specific
specific
verses.
meaning.
Like, they are way into what exactly does this scripture say? This is the word of God. This is everything. This is our whole rubric for life. And so they are just so into specific language, so into it, in fact, that they created their own Bible, their own
100%.
their own translation of the Bible, so that it says,
Pretty much what they
more
wanted to say.
specifically what they wanted to say.
Which was a whole thing with me coming out.
Whole thing.
I've read now 7 different Bibles. I've read what I could of the Quran, because when I came out, Bram, the Bible was my temple to life.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that King James said something different than the
Right.
New World Translation, something from the Old Testament,
Right.
New Testament.
Well, it wasn't even written in English.
Like, it wasn't even written in English.
It's like, yeah,
wow. Okay,
Yeah.
people. Yeah. Way to hijack the words.
they did. They totally do.
All right, man. What's your next word?
Where do I start? Let's see. I don't want to pick a huge one.
No?
Let's
Pick me.
do. I know. All right, I have 2. I'm gonna do 2 because they're kind of the
Kind of
same.
similar? Okay.
So a call versus a study.
Oh, they're not on my list. However, they should be
I
on my
wish we
list.
were recording the video
I really
of
do.
our faces
Because, yes.
because we are every one of these words. We are each taking a hit. Of
Yeah,
just,
bro. Oh, man. I don't know if y'all can hear it or feel it through the audio, but
we are
it is
uncomfortable.
real
I am
in here.
uncomfortable.
because I was not expecting this, but he is right. Those words, oh my god. Okay, yes.
So-
please explain.
I'll explain what those things mean. A call is not something that you do with a phone.
Nope.
It is, but not for witnesses.
Not for witnesses.
So what a call is, it's referring to a person that you've met when you're out in, door to door, whatever. You're preaching to people. You meet somebody who is nice to you and doesn't slam the door in your face. Basically, they just kind of placate you and they're
A
trying
decent human
just,
being.
just meet a nice person who gives you the time of day.
Yep.
They're not interested
Obviously not
because
interested.
no one is.
No,
but
one
they're
wants
just
talk
being
about
nice
it.
to
Yeah,
you.
they're just being nice.
And so you go, oh, I'm going to save this person.
Right.
I'm going to save this person. And they become a call, right? So you call back on this person. You come to their door. They eventually stop answering
Stop answering.
because they were just trying to be nice to you. And,
Right.
and they took the magazine and whatever. And so you continue to go back and back and back and back on this person to try to make them a study, which
Yes.
is the next phase. So
That is the holy grail, by the
right.
way.
So let's say somebody who, I know it is the Holy Grail, right? So going back to like proving your value as a witness.
Yeah,
If you have a study, you've like leveled up
you've leveled up.
as a witness. Like, oh man, this guy's legit.
This guy's legit.
This guy's legit, dude. He's gonna bring somebody into
He's
the
got
religion.
one.
He's got one. And so a study is somebody who is equally broken and is open to the idea of of being brainwashed with you, basically.
100%.
It's somebody who's like, yeah, you know what? I think I can get on board with this garbage. And so you go back and you study some book with them until you have brainwashed them into becoming a Jehovah's Witness, basically. And they'll say, oh, we're not trying to convert people.
Oh,
Which
that's
is
a
just
big thing.
absolute bullshit.
They legit. That's the
They
propaganda.
say that.
And that's part of that's part of the whole mess
We're
up.
not trying to convert people. Of course you are.
Of course you're
Of
trying to
course you
convert
are.
people. That is the whole premise.
But you know what's so arrogant about them saying that is this is what they think. They think,
Right.
oh, we're not.
they think this.
They think, oh, we're just trying to get people to read the Bible, and then when they read it and I explain it to them,
Don't say it. Don't say that word. Don't say the T word. That's on my list. It's up there. Okay, that's a whole.
I don't know where I'm going.
Okay.
Oh, that's my number one. That was the
Oh,
first word. That was the
okay.
first word I came up with.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're not
that'll
there
be
yet,
last.
bro.
No,
we're not
no,
there
no.
yet.
So you explain
That's
it.
a warning.
Yeah.
Whoa, bro. Whoa.
Yellow card.
Yep.
So you're thinking like, oh, I'm going to explain this to this person, and they will be touched by God, and then of course they're going to want to be a Jehovah's Witness. That's what they fucking
Of course.
think.
That's what they fucking
That's
think,
what they
bro.
think. That's so arrogant.
That's
and so
so
they
arrogant.
actually think, oh no, I'm not trying to convert somebody. I'm just going to show them this, and they'll do it to themselves because it's so great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So glad I'm out.
bro. Me too.
Jesus Christ.
When you look, what's funny is doing this, like looking back,
Yeah.
you understand now why all your friends were like, "You're a Jehovah's Witness.
You're weird, bro.
You're a witness." Like what?
Right.
Because it's
when you're in it-
ridiculous.
When you're in it, all this stuff is what
This
you
is
live.
all. This is
You have
all
no
totally
idea.
kosher and normal.
Right. You have no idea,
Yeah, you have no
what
idea.
or why or who or why are you looking at me weird? This is normal. Like
Right.
this
Oh,
is the
you-
words I use.
This is it, man. Yeah.
This is what we do.
Dude.
Like
Yeah. And looking back, you're like, man, this is cult stuff, dude. This is brainwashing. It's
Straight
it's
up.
ridiculous.
Straight up, bro.
Yeah.
And so, obviously, now that we come out of it, we get to reflect on our views.
You want to hear some bullshit?
This is the time.
Here's some bullshit, bro. So one time I'm sitting there in one of these meetings, and homeboy on the stage talks about, "Oh, you guys are brainwashed." He's talking about somebody, commenting on witnesses,
Uh-huh.
and here we go. He said this
On stage.
on stage in front of us. He said this: "Our brains need to be washed because of how dirty this world is."
I remember this.
Remember that shit? If that ain't some cult shit, I don't know what is, bro.
That's some real cult
That's
shit.
a
That's some
real
real deep,
cult
like
stuff.
some deep
So
cult
hopefully
shit.
this is kind of painting a picture for you guys. I
Right.
think we're like a third of the way through.
Hey, we're about, yes.
I don't
So
know.
we've gone through, what is it now? 4 words, kind of. And again, I had 20. So
I know.
there was more than
this is
20.
the
I had to get
reduced-
mine down to 20.
This is the reduced list.
This is the words that made the list. Like,
Okay.
so, okay.
Okay. So
All right, so we're going to,
okay.
my turn.
Back to you. Yeah.
back to me. Okay. These next two are kind of the same. They're the same feeling, but they are not the same word. They are very different words. They are
Okay.
very different, like, words in the world. However, these two words are the very same trigger for me, very same, like, and I guarantee it's gonna hit Kevin because I know he doesn't remember.
My blood pressure is
I'm
high.
looking at him right now. He has no idea what these words are. But when I say them in conjunction, because there's two, it's gonna smack somebody. So it is the Watchtower and the Wake.
I didn't have those, dude. Oh man.
Yeah.
Good pick, dude.
So the Watchtower and the Wake. No cool words, right?
They sound cool.
They sound cool. Watchtower's a thing in castles where no.
No.
Awake, something you do after you sleep. No,
No.
it is not.
No.
These are the names
Yep.
of those magazines that was the propagandized. Like this was the one that
That's
you
where
had
it comes
to
from.
read.
Yeah. This is the one that they are trying to give to the public.
They're trying to get this is the outreach program.
Right.
This is the
Yeah.
this is the hey, let's get you the bait on the hook,
Yep.
as it were, of fishing. Watchtower and Awake, man. So that's the names of the magazines,
Yep.
and they hijack those like straight up. I will never not if I hear the word Watchtower. No, I love All Along the Watchtower. That's
I know,
one of my
that song
favorite
is great.
songs. Jimi Hendrix killed that song,
Yeah.
and
Every
now
time
it's tainted
it's tainted. Yeah.
because I have to. It's associated.
How could you not think of that?
How could you not think of that?
You hear or see that word.
Yeah.
A billion times.
A billion times. And again, being awake is a thing that you talk about. You know, during the awake hours, go to sleep and wake up. Like you hear that word, and again, the first filter it goes through is the cult filter. You get smacked with all the propaganda, all the things you've read in this magazine. Every time you've read it, what issue it was, what number it was.
Well, and those words are loaded.
That's what I mean. It's a very loaded word.
Those terms on purpose.
Yes.
Right. So for Watchtower, the idea, back to their arrogance.
Yes.
They think that they're the only ones who see the way things are going. They think that they're on this watchtower, this watchman are the only ones who have the vantage point that can predict or see, you know, how Armageddon's coming, or that, you know, that's their arrogance. And in the awake, same thing. It's this idea that people are asleep.
Right. They're not awake
spiritually. They're not hip. They're not hip to whatever's happening.
Yes.
They're asleep spiritually, and we're going to wake them up.
Okay.
It's bullshit, dude. It's all propaganda.
100 billion% propaganda. Yeah. That's all it is.
It's every level of it.
Every level. So that's my that's my next one. So glad we're doing this today.
I'm so glad we're doing this, so I can just go drink later. This is so
right.
This is hard.
Christ.
Okay.
Next.
All right, let's do.
We haven't even gotten to my top 10.
I know,
except
dude.
For meeting.
I know.
Like,
we're saving the one.
We're saving.
I know exactly which one we're saving.
So yes,
because it was the first word I came up with.
So
okay,
my first word's different than your first word, only because it's okay though.
Okay, so my next word, we kind of have been saying it, but worldly. we hinted at this.
We sure did
on the last episode about being worldly. Being of the world. So again, witnesses think that they are the shit and the only shit.
And all be all.
They think that they are, and I think every probably religion obviously thinks, oh, we're the right one, you know. But they think.
I don't know if it's fair to say that.
Well, okay,
because again, it's
not every religion,
but it's there.
Yeah,
it's you chose your faith.
Right.
The faith is the faith.
This is the right one.
This is the faith.
You know, this is the correct one. And everybody else, every single other person in the world is like out to get you and isn't up to your level. And so when someone is, it's like one of the worst things you can call somebody as a witness. You can call them worldly.
Oh man, like you think of some of the bad words people get called nowadays.
Yeah.
Bastard, bitch. Asshole, whatever the word is, like that's you feel that level of like insult, of expletive, of whatever it is. Worldly was the worst one you could get called.
Because they're saying something about your character.
Yes,
they're saying that you aren't good enough to be here. They're saying you are to your core a bad person who deserves to die at the end of the world.
You deserve to die with the world.
To die at the end of the world. That's what they're saying when they call somebody worldly.
Yeah. Which is, holy shit. How do you say that?
How do you say that to somebody? And for something so simple as like having a beard, you know?
Right.
Or like you talked about like hairstyle.
Your hairstyle.
Like that's worldly.
Or your freaking, and again, honorable mention here, a suit and tie. Yes. Or your dress. Yes. Again, like if your dress was too high, or your tie didn't match, or you know your suit wasn't pressed, or your book bag was not up and cleaned and
dialed in. Yeah,
you literally, this was the word that they threw at you, and it was designed to take you down to your base level and reevaluate your spiritual goals, because they wanted to make sure.
They say it a lot, too.
They say it a lot,
They say it a lot.
A lot.
They say it all the time to people. All the time.
Right. And then, outside of the religion, we talk about the planet, the world, Earth, all the time. Yes. And when you say world, it encompasses all of that.
Yes.
Globe, Earth, planet. It encompasses all that.
Yes.
So it's that part of that same trigger. This hurts.
Well, dude. What's funny about worldly, that word is, if someone else who wasn't a witness were to hear that,
Right.
To be like, oh, that's a cool thing.
That's a cool thing.
You're of the world. You respect different
You're
cultures.
part of a bigger thing.
You know, you're part of this bigger thing. You know, you might speak more than one language. You have this depth to yourself.
Right.
You know, whereas for witnesses, it's the complete opposite.
Right. And
so
it's
negative.
they took this macro scale thing and made it an exiling word.
Yeah.
Like they went and made it an exiling word.
Yes.
On this huge scale. So being a part of the world is dope. Like if I live on planet Earth, there's so many cool cultures,
Yeah.
so many cool societies.
Being
I
of
want
the
to be a
world
part
is
of.
great.
I'm an Earthling, y'all. I'm
Yeah.
a human. I'm a human on Earth. That is
Right.
where I come from. But they literally made it an exiling thing to be a part of the world. Like
Yeah.
how crazy propaganda
I
is
know.
that?
I know, dude. I know. Whose idea was this?
Damn it!
right,
Okay,
what's your next
so my next one, which I'm gonna skip because well, we kind of talked about it. It was Kingdom Hall or Kingdom,
Oh, yeah.
which we kind of that's fine. So the
I
next
have,
one,
I have Kingdom on here too.
right? So so Kingdom. Okay, let's talk about Kingdom. Let's talk about Kingdom a little bit because there's a lot of weight
And
to
we're
Kingdom.
not talking about our house.
We're not talking about the house.
Okay.
We're not talking about it.
Nope.
So Kingdom, ladies and gentlemen, is where I guess where God lives. Where
It's their whole thing.
it's the whole premise of their
Yeah.
hierarchy.
They have this idea of the kingdom, this government that they think is existing in heaven with Jesus as the top guy and 144,000 other guys
Yep.
that rule over the rest of us.
Yep.
And they think that this government, this kingdom, is going to come replace all these other governments and kingdoms on earth. And that's their whole shtick. That's their whole thing,
That is the whole thing.
is that this kingdom is coming, you know?
Yep. And for me, when I hear the word kingdom, because having been firstborn, that there's a little more different way to that inheritance part, that thing, legacy,
Yeah,
kingdom. Kingdom involves longevity. It involves a realm. It involves the structure. So for me, being a family guy, it's when I hear kingdom, I think of my legacy. I think of the world I want to build for myself. I think of me personally. Plus, two, I'm an educated person. I understand what a kingdom is back in the day. It's a realm. The kingdom was the land of,
Yeah.
where
it's
they
the whole thing.
stewarded over. It's the whole thing. So now you have this word, kingdom, that is translating this huge propaganda. It starts with God, only God, and then it funnels all the way through your entire life. So my hardest part was going through school with this word, because kingdom, you're in school, you're learning about
You learn about kingdoms.
King Arthur, you learned about kings, you learned about those things, and so you literally have to look at history and what you're being taught in school, which we should probably we'll get more into that going through school as JDub. That's a whole other thing.
That's a whole other episode.
That's a whole other episode.
It was shitty.
It was
That's a short part
Okay,
of the story.
another episode.
Yeah, it was shitty.
But you have this filter now it's slapped on other things that you're trying to learn. And if it doesn't jive with what it goes along with the propaganda of J-Dubs, you literally just learned it and then you scrubbed it
Mhm.
from your existence, from your memory,
Yes.
because it doesn't fit.
Doesn't fit. It's
This
wrong.
definition of kingdom is
Doesn't
against
fit,
what I
gone.
believe, therefore it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, because having a kingdom is kind of cool. Like
Yeah.
you can, if you want to play with your kingdom, which is what I'm trying to build now, what you're trying to build now, legacy, partnership, those things. I'm building it. I'm building a kingdom.
I hope that someday
Like-
I hear that word and just think.
And
of,
it just
I
is-
just think of
yes.
my family.
Family, right? I
'Cause
think
our
of
names-
just my family.
So you think their name's King? You know,
Yes.
I'm hoping someday that's what I hear.
Which having the last name be king is very difficult.
It complicates things.
because it's another layer, right?
It's a
It's
whole
another
other thing.
little extra little thing that because it's your last name.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Next,
All right, go ahead. Yeah.
Next word.
Yeah.
So my next word, which I don't really, now that we talked about it, I'm gonna skip. It was witness, but we've already talked about that. My next word is inherit.
Didn't have that one either.
Didn't have that one either, did you?
Okay.
So far, if anybody's keeping track, we basically have not had the same words.
Yeah.
So
only
it's
a
been
few.
like, yes. So inherit. Inherit sounds great. I love getting an inheritance.
Inheritance.
Everybody thinks that, getting an inheritance is something
Sounds
people
great.
look forward to.
Sounds totally great.
No,
No.
negative. That is not accurate.
Nope.
Inherit, man, they lace this word into everything. So I'm gonna say some phrases.
Don't.
Don't do it. Okay.
You can.